suspended, I think, it's like.
Are we live? People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. You know, it's Monday morning. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I'm a couple of moments late. Again, big up to everyone that was there on Twitch with myself. I needed to grab a bite to eat. I'm still hungry, really. Just something to keep me alive. A little breakfast biscuit. That's the reason why I'm slightly later. But yeah, man, you know, it's Monday. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. You're feeling refreshed. You're feeling revitalized. And you're ready to go and attack your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations for the day. Please make sure you hit the like button. Hope you had a great week last week, great weekend. Hope this week is filled with, you know, good news, celebrations, good health, everything positive. As I said, health, that's the most important thing, in it. Without health, as I say, you're dead, in it. So, you know, I'd love to wish you and your loved ones, you know, continued health, mentally, spiritually, physically, again, crucially, financially, all of those sort of things there, man. Like my guy Joe Bones has said, remember to press the like on your way in. It does help the channel grow. And then, like I was saying, appreciative to everybody who was live on Twitch earlier today, live at 10 a.m. I'm going to be live again at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Obviously, we're here right now from 11:40 till whenever. 2 p.m. Well, no, I'm lying about 2 p.m. 3 p.m. I'm going to be playing Football Manager, and live from that's on Twitch, and live from 7 p.m. Obviously, you've got the big one. It's Everton versus Arsenal. I can't lie. We need 6 points this week. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no excuses. Drawing against Everton with their current forms unacceptable. You need to be beating Southampton at home. So make sure you're all there, man. And big up the 5 of you, 6, including myself. You've hit the like button. If you can find it in your heart, please hit the like button. As you lot have said, it drives engagement and whatnot. Information's in the pinned message. But yeah, throughout the course of this video, again, check out my live. What's going on? Which is weird. Sorry, people. I'm trying to remove this. Again, check out the live stream I did with Mo, where obviously, you know, we previewed Arsenal versus Everton, and he offered his opinions on how the game at United went, and we went a couple of lefts and rights with it, people. You can check out. Well, I'm doing you lot there. I didn't even swear down, I didn't put the thumbnails in. I mean the timestamps. That's deep. So yeah, again, I uploaded it late at night, so that's probably the L. But let me go and find that, man. Let me put in these timestamps. Apologies if you know. Again, I'm very big on user experience and all of these things, man. So let me put the timestamps in that for you. Like, again, that came out at, I think, in midnight or something like that. So that's probably what's done it dirty. But yeah, shout out to Mo for that one. Let me put the timestamps in. Timestamps are there now. Bish, bash, bosh. It's done. One love to you lot filtering in as well. So yeah, content galore, people, man. Obviously, if I fast forward on this thing, you know. Look at those two faces, man. You just know there's content. Bloody hell, I don't smile. You know, that's probably going to be my mugshot one day, but it is what it is. Yeah, go and take in that. Like I said, content. Obviously, tomorrow, whatever happens against Everton, tomorrow morning or so, we'll review what's gone on and any talking points. And like I said, you know, Champions League next week as well. So we'll be speaking, well, this week as well. So what? Watch along today, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably do something. I think Napoli's playing Leicester, 5:45. Might do something on Thursday for that. And you know, on the weekend, there's other stuff. On the topic of watch-alongs, people, I need to make sure I've actually got my graphics as well, folks, because you know, the graphics designer's gone, I don't know, he's gone AWOL, man. He's just not replying to nothing. I owe him money. Not that I owe him money. He's done some work, you know. FYI, it's you know, when it gets to a certain, when we do 10 thumbnails, he sends me an invoice, I pay him his fees. We haven't done 10 yet, but technically leaving money on the table. And yeah, my man's gone missing, man. You know, if I scroll up our messages, when did I tell him I was gonna do Everton Arsenal? But I told him that on Thursday, blood. And yeah, I'm still waiting from yesterday. Are you able to do Everton, Arsenal / Leicester Villa tomorrow? That was at Saturday. The latest message was at Saturday, 2:58 p.m. I don't like to double message, but yeah, I was at 11:25 p.m. yesterday. I sent a question mark. So He's gone A will win it. I don't know what going for them and there. So yeah, man. Big up 5R again. I've got my other laptop here. I actually need to reply to my man. He said he'll have that done. So yeah, we keep going, we keep going, we keep going, we keep going. Obviously, you know, big up everyone that's tuned in. Please make sure you hit the like button. It's come out today, courtesy of David Ornstein, that Balogun is allowed to go on loan in January. Arteta allegedly is demanding more from Thomas Partey. Ralf Ragnick, couple 1s and 2s have come out. So we're going to speak about that. We're going to get into it. Any comments, opinions to do with Arsenal in general, don't feel any sort of way. You know, one thing I like about doing live content and just my platform in general is the enrichment that you guys give to the channel with the content. I don't want to be here talking to myself, people. So I appreciate everything. You is on Twitch, so I appreciate that. Bare content, drop a like on the way in, people. Bare top tier content. People hit the like button. I appreciate that. Looking hella pissed, man. I don't know why, man. I smile. If we lose to Everton, then we should probably sack Arteta. Boy, for me, I don't know for any of all of them things there. One love to the members, moderators, and supporters who were here as well. I don't know about that, but for me, if you can't beat a team that hasn't won in 8 games, can't keep a clean sheet, there's hella pressure. You need to win. I'm very respectful to Premier League teams, and I just think where Arsenal are at, we can't really go and say we're gonna beat this team, that team, smash them in. Respectfully, we lost at Goodison Park last year. I want to see us do better. If you can't go to Goodison Park, like I said, can't buy a clean sheet. Got to go to September when they last won. Ain't won in 8 games. You know, if you can't beat them and you can't put aside Southampton and get 6 points going into West Ham after that, you can forget about it. The games ain't getting any easier, you know. Everton are going to want to win. We're going to win. We're going to want to win. Both teams are probably feeling sorry for themselves. But at the end of the day, there's no aspects of that. It's going to be a tough away game. For me, I've seen us flatter to deceive in away games, even in away games, if I'm going to further scrutinize things. Obviously, Brentford at the start of the year, yeah, there was injuries and all sorts of things, but we didn't do the business. Simple as that. We flattered to deceive. We did not do the business. When we played City, we didn't do the business. When we played Chelsea, well, Chelsea was at home, but we didn't. Big game. We didn't do the business. Everton's another chance, but Liverpool and United, 2 different games. Didn't do the business. You know, you don't get points for playing well in stages. You don't get points for playing well for the last or first 20 minutes. You get points for playing well or being the better team for the majority of the 90-minute period. You know, we have to start again. Our unbeaten record starts all over again, people. We lost to United. It is what it is. You've seen our next 6 or 7 games. They're not getting any easier. You know, like I said, Southampton home and away, we should be winning, but that's a bogey team. Everton, we should be winning, especially when they're in this form. West Ham goes either way. And again, you need that insurance, because if it's on current form, we're going to get smacked up. They can sit here and say they've brushed aside Liverpool. Well, brushing is exaggeration, but they beat Liverpool and obviously Chelsea. We can't say that, you know. Man can say you was in it and up until a certain period. Game management, proactiveness is 2 things. That's a team that can't keep a clean sheet. Press them, get their defenders to kick it long and to win the first and second balls and see where that can take you. This is a game where you could probably win it in the first 10 minutes. It would be typical if the form's gone out the window. You know, Everton are battered and bruised. At some point, they have to stop feeling sorry for themselves. You know, at some point, the form's got to end. I hope to God it's not against Arsenal, people. And again, listening to Omar, again, our last 3 visits are not, we don't create chances, but our last 3 visits aren't the best. Our last 3 visits to Goodison Park have had 2 defeats and a draw. Says it all. A must-win game for us. Must win, must win, must win. Bro, I can't lie. I don't care if we scrap it, you need to leave. Come 9:45 p.m. UK time, you need to leave with 3 points. You don't get 3 points at Goodison, might as well forget it. Again, there's still plenty of football, but you need to take 6 points respectfully to these teams as well, because Arsenal are not a team that can sit there and say we're going to beat this team and the other, but you need to take points. Again, you know, Xhaka's back. I don't know if he's going to start. I don't know what we're doing with the strikers. You know, it is what it is. I just know if you lot really want Europe, you need to go and get it. You found yourselves in a good position that many people, myself included, did not bank on us to be in. But at the end of the day, it's not done. You don't get points for being 7th now, but previous, if you win, going back to 5th in May, the tape, oh shit, almost collapsed it for you lot, people. I almost smashed up the laptop up in there. But yeah, collapsed it in May. I collapsed this, but yeah, you don't get trophies for that. It's about what you're doing. Bloody hell, almost smacked off the thing. You don't get trophies. It's all about what it's saying in May. And you look at our fixture list. We've got to go to Goodison and get a performance. You know, Southampton at home. home and away, I'll be real. Southampton's a team you should be beating, but it just feels like they are an element of a bogey team. They're always on something against us, if I'm completely honest. West Ham, boy, again, we're at home. Whether being at home makes the difference, but it's an evening fixture against a team that one thing they have over us is street smartness and experienced players. They've got players who have been through the leagues and been through the motions, you know. You can, I don't know if Zuma is better than Ben White or Ben White's better than Zuma or Zuma's better than Gabriel and Ben White. What I know is Zuma's been round the blocks. He's been at Everton. He's been at West Ham. He's been at Chelsea. Bowen's been through the leagues. Antonio's been through the leagues. All half of their players are very street smart. Dawson been through the leagues. They've got an evident experience advantage. But at the end of the day, one thing I see with West Ham is something I don't see with us. No excuses. Competitiveness. There's been times, of course, they've dropped silly points this season, and I'm not saying just because they did it we can do it, but when you look at how they played against Liverpool and Chelsea, it's good. There's been times we've won in big games and we haven't got favorability, but you get it, people. I think, they double down what they're good at. They respect what Chelsea's good at. They focus on what they're bad at to exploit. And, they didn't try to play Chelsea or Liverpool off the park because they can't. They focused on what they were good at. When they did have moments to break, they broke with conviction. And most importantly, they had belief. I can't say we've got that. But anyways, the games aren't getting easier. Now, Leeds and Everton are two teams that should be higher. I think they're 15th and 16th respectively. Ellen Road's not going to be easy. We've got a good point with 10 men there last year. We didn't get 3 points. So the games aren't getting easier. Everton away, Southampton at home, West Ham at home, Leeds away. We've got the cup game where Lee Johnson's been talking a lot of bullshit about our club. We need to smack him in. Carrow Road's a game you should be winning, but they're fighting for their lives and they're under a new manager. Wolves at home isn't going to be easy. And, you need to do all of that. And then look what you got as a thank you for all of that in January. The first game is against City, and then you've got a semi-final. Obviously, these fixtures will probably change with the Champions League and European leagues and all of these things coming into play, people. And I'm sure there's a rest period as well where the Prem. I swear meant to have a winter break. I swear they're meant to be a winter break. I could be wrong, but I'm sure there's meant to be a winter break. But again, in terms of a points tally, again, Arsenal can't win every game, and I think it's difficult. But what's a sort of respectable points tally? I say you should be taking 6 points from Everton and Southampton. That's 6 points. I would, fair enough. It would be lovely to beat West Ham because we ain't beat a team that's in good form and that. But I would say you need to be targeting 7 points minimum, 7 to 9 points ideally from your next 3 games. West Ham are doing well. We've seen them drop stupid points this year. We've also seen them raise it for the big games. So it is what it is. From the next 3, you need to be targeting 7. Realistically, I know it's going to be tough against Ellen Road against Leeds, but that's a game you need to get 3 points. They're not the Leeds of last season. So now that turns from 7 to 10. You need 10 points from the first 5 games of this month. I'm talking about 5 points. From the first 5 games, you need X amount of points, people. Like I said, 3, 6, 7, 10 points at that point. 13, you minimum 13 points. I can't lie, you should be beating Wolves, but you need minimum 13 points, and it goes without saying advancing the cup. You need, if you're serious, you get 13 points. Anything less, I'm not going to say you can't do it, but there's problems. And also, I've seen us not play well against teams like there's been other teams, but Palace didn't have Zaha this year. Brighton never had Webster and Basuma. So I'm not going to read too much into this, and I've actually had to change my thumbnail, but what's his face? Dominic Calvert-Lewin's not playing. Yerry Mina, I don't know where he's at. Yerry Mina and Michael Keane, they were like Pirlo in the last game at Goodison last year. So they're a team that are in terrible form. Pressure on the manager. Fans are saying they're gonna stage a walkout and all of these sort of things. These are games you need to win. At the same time, give credit. Games are not won on paper; they're earned. You've got to earn the right. Arsenal have a target on their backs. And when you look at all of these teams, Everton, fair play. Southampton, for me, got Premier League stability. They're not going to hand you 3 points. Everton, their fans are starting to vote with their feet. We hear there's talk of a walkout/protest. You've seen them be disgruntled in their last 2 games, as we would be. That could be the end for Rafa. So if these players want to ride for man, they need to tell him, well, go on. Of course, one thing that scares me is the Townsends and these sort of things, ex-Spurs, man, and whatnot. But if you're a serious team, like I said, that's the amount of points. I keep forgetting the points I'm actually be saying. So that's what 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, minimum 13 points. If you're serious, minimum 13 points. Minimum, absolute minimum is 10. You need 13 points. We need 13 points from now to the end of December. It's as simple as that. If not, forget about Europe. 13 points minimum this month. Anything less is a joke thing. I'm not gonna lie to you lot, people. Anything less is a joke thing. If you don't get that, then boy, it's not serious. I'll be real. It's not serious. Like, that's just me in it. I don't feel it's not serious, really and truly. You know, what are you lot saying, people? I didn't actually plan on speaking about that, but yeah. DG, I think the winter break is mid to end of Jan. I don't know when it is. I was just thinking when. I'm sure there is one to come. So yeah, I can't imagine it's in the festive period, as you said there. So we're gonna have to get onto it. And this is why I think we need all the squad. There's bare man in this. We'll get into it, but without the obvious, you know, there's question marks over Thomas Partey, over Aubameyang, over these guys. And I know people are going off to AFCON and doing all these things, but this is why it's a squad game, especially when we don't have upper echelon talents like. You know, we don't have them players that are always consistent, whether it's due to age or ability. That's why I'm not making excuses for people underperforming, but this is why we need to just keep a couple of things in mind. This is why we need the whole squad. There's going to be times Smith Rowe goes as a wobble, Ramsdale has a wobble, Ben White, all of them. You know, very few players in that Arsenal team are going to be on it from August until May. That's just where we are, people. Honest to God, and I think you lot would agree with such if you're looking at it. You know, the midfield battle is going to be key because Allen and Decore is a better pivot than R1. I'd agree, and for me, you know, if they go with, it could be a 4-4-1, a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-4-1-1 from Everton. I think it's a 4-4-2. I think you go Rondon, you go Richarlison, first and second balls. As you mentioned, Decore running onto the first and second. You know, we've seen him not do Yaya Toure stuff, but kind of do them little things where he runs with the ball, he does a little bit of magic, not so much of recent, but there's always a time. As you said, Allen's going to be sniffing at the heels. Midfield battle is crucial, and also how congested we make it. You know, that's one thing they can do. Now, we're good at set pieces, so hopefully that's an area to exploit with them people, man. You know, I wouldn't start Aubameyang, but I can see him starting. I see a reality. I honestly think it's going to be Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Saka. If it was up to me, which it's not, I think, you know, the team that would, again, if, you know, Aubameyang has a great record against Everton, the same logic we said against Newcastle, and Aubameyang's record is okay against United. Now, for me, I'm not turning on Aubameyang. He's still my guy. I still back him and all that, but I back my club more. We've tried playing him through form. We've tried different formations, bringing in Laka. Nothing's working. The man's not scoring. If him and Laka are not scoring, Lacazette's the better player. Lacazette into the team. Lacazette might not be historically a good goal scorer for us, but he links up with the Haaland boys. He presses well, and for me, it would be Lacazette, Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe. I think that's a very, excluding Lacazette, it's a naive team, but I think they're hungry, they're pressing. Martinelli's been starved of football, at a good start and a good, you know, rewarded Arteta for starting him with a good performance against United. Took his chance off the bench against Newcastle. He's ready. By God's grace, Saka is fit. If Saka isn't fit, then I think it's, you know, Martinelli's not starting that, you know, really and truly. You might see again Smith Rowe shifted to bring in Odegaard. For me, I just feel we need to get points in it, and I don't feel we haven't got time for Odegaard's woeful form, or if it isn't not Aubameyang, we can't carry him anymore. You know, Tierney and Tavares. For me, I'm bringing in Tierney personally, but yeah, man, I just feel, you know, I love the club first. Again, if we're all concerned about everybody needs to get a game and this guy needs to get a chance, then man need to go play Sunday League. Go find a Sunday League team, pay your subs. Of course, it's harsh. Of course, other people deserve chances. Of course, Arteta has no leg to stand on when he's not starting or playing certain man and we're not getting the results. But at the same time, we can't have everyone getting a chance. All the youngsters playing, all the experienced players, all the underperforming players being allowed to play their way back into form and get 3 points. It's a harsh reality. We need to grab 3 points. Aubameyang, obviously, if he scores, he does his thing, and I'm sure there'll be a healthy respect by the Everton players, but he's not Aubameyang that he's used to being. You know, I want him to get back into form, but maybe bringing him off the bench gets him back into form. He comes off the bench, legs are tired, he makes himself a hero. Who knows what narratives could be drawn? Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. And obviously, when you look at it, you even hear Smith Rowe and Saka are struggling, so maybe them two might not be playing. You know, Tierney should be captain tonight. DG, would you give Pepe a chance tonight? No, not personally speaking. Obviously, if Saka and Smith Rowe aren't playing, then there is that aspect. But yeah, I think if anything, it's Martinelli. Saka, if you're fit, he's playing for me. I love AUBA, but I can't justify his start. Like you say, Laka is the trick now. Exactly. And if Laka's form goes iffy, it's a myth. No AUBA, Odegaard. No Odegaard, and give Smith Rowe a rest. I hear that, but Smith Rowe, and I hear it with a rest, especially if he's got a tight going and in the aftermath of the game on Thursday. But at the end of the day, he's had a recovery on Friday. I assume he's had a recovery on Friday. Trained on Saturday. Between training on Sunday and traveling for this Monday game, he's fit. And I'm not going to be funny, I hear you on Smith Rowe needs a rest. I'm not getting at you, my guy, but does Smith Rowe not make us have a stronger chance of 3 points? He's our number 10, If he's meant to be a Premier League footballer, you're a Premier League footballer in England international. There are times, obviously, we're relying too much on Smith Rowe and Saka, but I feel Smith Rowe gives us a better chance of winning the game. So I don't feel we're in a position to rest, really. We need to win. We win. Not that I want to just keep looking week to week at 5th and 7th, but if you don't win, it gets ugly, United, Spurs, they're praying you drop points. West Ham as well. Them and everyone took their chances, Leicester fumbled it and they're somewhat behind us, but we can't fumble it. There's going to be times other people fumble and we take advantage and vice versa. But this week, we need 6 points this week. If we don't get 6 points, then the little faith I had for Europe, which I'm very pessimistic on our European chances, not to be that for a reason, then they're gone. Because this tells me you can't be cerebral, and I haven't seen cerebral. It's very easy to. It might even happen at Everton, where we don't play well for 90 minutes and things are not highlighted. But I haven't seen enough. 64 points should get you 6th. 70 points should get you 4th, in my opinion. So 32 points plus after Norwich on Boxing Day for top 6. 35 plus for 4th. This is a good game for Martinelli. AUBA should be benched. I think Martinelli should start. I demand more from Arteta. I demand more from everyone, man. No one's who's playing out of their skin, really. AUBA ain't getting dropped. Probably not. Laka should start today, though, man. We're carrying passengers, man. West Ham's defense is depleted. We have to win. I don't know what will happen by the time we face them. West Ham showing what a competent midfield can do, a competent unit. And again, when you just compete, West Ham are not going to win the league. They're not going to play teams off the park. But there's a competitive nature. They go a goal down, they keep going. They focus on what they can do better than the opposition. Like I said, it wouldn't work. You can't pass Liverpool or Chelsea off the park. But what you can do is try to contain them. And when you do have chances, believe in them. There was belief. Second half, it looked like it was more, most people would have just taken a point. A point against Chelsea isn't bad, but you could see he's smelling there's something in the game for them. He removed his back three and went to a 4, and that's the belief you have. And I just think Arsenal, whether at times I see Mikel Arteta telling them to get further and press higher and be braver on the ball. So I don't know if it's a psychological thing or if it's a result on the management, but I don't think we're brave enough. We look to a Saka or a Smith Rowe to inspire collective bravery, or we start off brave like United on Thursday, play well for 13 minutes, maybe even take the lead, and we think, right, let's pack up. We either play at 100 miles per hour or we're stalling car. We're not changing gears in time. And that's that game management. And Arteta needs to be able to tell the boys this. But at the same time, these are things these players need to arrest themselves, really and truly. And for me, what's annoyed me, if you just go off the Liverpool and United games, fair enough. These are games that in theory should go other ways. United haven't beat us too many times. They beat us then. We haven't won too many times at Old Trafford. Top 6 games should be games that go other ways, go each way. Liverpool been handing our ass to us every week. Every week they play us. But with that exception, what jarred me is the time in which we conceded these goals. It tells me the game management hasn't improved. The 44th minute is when you're letting runners go and conceding the one you did against United. Odegaard's made the mistake, but the very fact that somehow we've clawed our way back into the game at 2-2. That should be it. No team should score more. We've conceded. Obviously, when Ronaldo's got what is in hindsight the second goal that was sandwiched in between the three, we're not picking him up. That was a self-inflicted mistake with Tavares, and Tavares trying too hard, and Smith Rowe was involved. Gabriel doesn't do enough. We're not following runners. It's these hard graphs, things that people don't see. You can't afford to play United and let runners go. Fair enough, Fred isn't someone you'd think is dangerous, but for 2 of those goals, the penalty, and I think he assisted it for Bruno after good play from Sancho, we're not following runners. You can't defend against Ronaldo, but what you can do is be aware. He has scored that goal because we have not the penalty, the other one, because we have not marked him. You cannot go into games that it's just like Liverpool. We're not following midfield runners. You can't afford against any team to not follow midfield runners, to not look over your shoulders, to be open on the transition. With respect, You can do all of it. You can have the brain farts and get away with it against Norwich, against Newcastle, against Watford, you know. But these go either ways when you're playing top teams or bigger teams, or the same way you get the rub of the green, same way it goes elsewhere. Arsenal need to learn to be convincing over 25 minutes. I mean, over 90 minutes. I'm saying 25 because I'm watching the timestamps. Definitely not 25. You know, that'd be silly. What's good, DGJ Money? I hope you're doing well and safe. I hope I'm wrong, but this is the time when we mess things up, probably. But let's enjoy the ride, man. I expect the 4-2-3-1 with Saka at the right, replacing Martinelli, and Lokonga replacing El Nene as the only changes. I hear it. Somewhat I agree. I think Arteta starts AUBA just to give him that vote of confidence. Not that I agree with it. Surely the vote of confidence was against United, though. You know, Old Trafford, Arsenal versus United. Off the back of, let's be honest, a stinker against Newcastle, a stinker against Watford, a stinker probably in the game before that. Surely that's the vote of confidence, really and truly. You know, because if you win, that would have put daylight between the two teams. I do think there's a lack of creativity in this team. But Aubameyang's not taking the minuscule chances that are afforded to him. Obviously, he's got a good record against Everton. You know, if he scores, he's a hero, and we hope that's the case. But for me, I think we've gone down that road. I just think, you know what, if anything, be a talisman off the bench, really. You know, when Tierney's form was iffy, man got dropped. When Odegaard's form was iffy, Donny got dropped. You know, if anyone else has moved iffy, our captain can't be any different. You know, sometimes you need to lead by a different way. You need to be a different sort of captain right now. On the bench, kind of keeping everybody going. It's not a starting thing right now. And this is what's going to probably happen. Aubameyang's going to go to the left. Saka's back on the right, in my opinion. From the training video, it looked like Aubameyang was in the left wing position. Might go back to a 4-2-3-1 with AUBA and Laka up front. That's genuinely what I think we're seeing. Remember, quite a few people said give Arteta until December. What now? Well, he's got it in it. There's no waiting. You got to do your thing now, innit? You know, I've got no excuses. You need to improve on 8th place. If you don't get Europe, then I don't think you're necessarily going to get sacked if you don't get Europe, but you should do. Back-to-back 8th place finishes. Can't say I see real building blocks to the scale it should be for a man that's been in the position 2 years. Let's be real. I do think a lot of people scapegoat Arteta, but there's a lot of luxuries he's been afforded. You know, very few managers at any other clubs could be in the position for 2 years, including your first full season. And I'm not talking about necessarily the playing squad, just what you're getting across 90 minutes at Arsenal and deem that acceptable. So there's pressure on everyone. Same way there's on Aubameyang and them things there. Facts DG, Moy smelt blood in the water and went for it against Chelsea. And that's it may be an experience thing, you know, but it's an element of risk taking. You know, at one point, it looked like they were going to get shagged, you know. Obviously, at 1-1, when he's going for it, how many times have you seen as quote-unquote a smaller team go for it and then straight down the other end, boom. And like we always say, you don't get points for playing well. If the team has won 2-1, yeah, you can take positives, but you get no points. He played to his fans, and I think at times at Arsenal, we need that. But the players believed. You could see Antonio, Bowen, Masuaku, all them players, Declan Rice, they believed in themselves. I don't think we've got that. And a lot of it is due to the cultural, you know, the culture at Arsenal. The man, them are young. A couple men have come in from foreign countries. But at the same time, I think a lot of that is cap. I don't think there's belief. It doesn't matter if you're from Somalia, Jamaica, England. You know, you've been in England your whole life, America. But if you've got belief, you've got belief. You know, football is not a complicated game. I think it's just complicated by idiots. Arteta will play AUBA and Lacazette, probably. But what I see with West Ham, you look at Antonio and Bayern, them and they have gone through the hard graphs. They've been in the shitty excellence of football in England. If Arteta can't get Europe with one game a week, see ya, facts. When our opponents see us drop, they gain confidence and get back into the game. Exactly. And the thing is, you've got to be able to kill games. There was times Chelsea could have killed that West Ham game at the start. You know, they didn't. When you don't, as you lot know, very rarely in the Premier League is it just one team dominating across 90. There's little spells. There's spells there's a 5 to 15 minutes where there's an opening for the other team and goals change games. Like I said, there's ifs and buts and not facts. But when United look watch the game again, they look very nervous in the first 10 minutes. Very nervous. Rashford is slicing crosses, defensive clearances, you know, Maguire's not quite at it. You know, how many times have you seen other teams play United and they'll score 2-3 in them, 3's an exaggeration, but 2 in that, and it's a different game. It's a 2-2. Suddenly, when you don't do that, it's an issue. Our ability to smell danger is non-existent. Exactly. Well, United look competent. You saw ironically a United pressing from that 11 with Ralf. Competent managers can fix things quicker than others. How many votes of confidence does AUBA need? Let's not make it more than it is. Just bench the guy for the game and let's keep it moving on with that. Where's the scaffolding trust? I don't know if anyone made Aubameyang a god, but you said who made AUBA a god at Arsenal? I think there's a problem in Arsenal like it was in Man U. Remember issue of Sancho. What's wrong to give more chance to the electrified kids, Martinelli and Nketiah? I mean, Nketiah don't even want to be here, so it's one of them. Why Saka late? I don't know how Saka's late, but I don't know what you're saying. Do you start Partey today? Yeah, I'll start Partey today. You know, he's our best midfielder, but being the best ain't an excuse. I think people are scapegoating him a lot, but you need to stand out. You're fitting in stand out now. Simple as that. DG, what do you think about Tini for captain? I think he's a quality player, but I think we need a captain who will play more than 50% of games. Probably that, but if you're just asking me on his mentality, I think, you know, if it was up to me, I think off the top of my head, I feel I wouldn't make Partey captain, but I would make him a captain, if that makes sense. Like, you know, when you see City, couple men are wearing the band, I'd say Partey would be one, but lower list. I would say there's about 3 men. I would say wild card, Gabriel. Again, I just think Gabriel's a leader and the English is improving. I think Ramsdale, because he looks like he's been here for 10 years and, you know, similar to Watford, what Sissoko was there for 2 minutes and he's their captain. You can't really say no if Ramsdale wasn't made it. And the same logic with Tierney. Wild card. And it's not really with it. And I know, obviously, he's done a madness. But I'd probably say Granit Xhaka, to be fair with you. You know, I know we've got captains of Norway and that in the team, but they don't look like my sort of captain. If we don't get Europa minimum, he has to go. That's fair enough. Exactly that. You know, top 4, you should be able to get that. That should be the expectation. But if you get us back in Europe, there's still question marks, but that's a crutch to save you. You know, together with, for me, I need to see the team obviously developing a DNA, all of these things, people. Make sure you've set your reminders and hit the like button on my Everton versus Arsenal watch along. But if he fails to do any of that stuff, shush, then you said it. Well, the problem is, do Arsenal have a succession plan? Who do you start in our front three? I think I've said it, but if it's up to me personally, Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, Smith Rowe through the 10, I will go Lacazette. And we saying London Life got to party. The thing is, bro, the London Life can get you. Just do your thing, bro. I knew you, man, would say it. And this tells us where it is, you know. We're on let's be honest, the standards at the club are on the floor, bro. The very fact that we talk about missing Xhaka and we praise Lacazette for work rate, and I'm not drawing out these players. I'm just saying the standards are on the floor. Arsenal Football Club, we are praising footballers for working hard. Every fucking footballer in any fucking Premier League team should work hard and press. We have an over-reliance on nonsense. The bar's on the floor. Ramsdale shouts to the point where sometimes it's probably not needed. We love it. Tomiyasu came to this club just because he could header a ball and look, you know, could stand on his right foot. You're better than Bellerin already for me. On top of the obvious, the standards are on the floor. We need to rein it in a bit. We need to be able to differentiate Arsenal improving from their obvious below the floor standards and comparing Arsenal to what a competent team should be, in my humble opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a fan, bro. I don't know anything. Watch Arteta drop Lokonga and Smith Rowe to fit in Xhaka. To be fair, I don't know. You know, I don't know if Xhaka is fully fit, but I can't disagree. I think our midfield, the pivot, man, it's a joke thing. I've said it from the start. I don't really rate what's going on there. You know, if Partey's dropped, I'll have question marks, but he can't complain. There's not, you know, Lokonga and Ainsley can do a thing. We've seen Xhaka and Partey do a thing. We've seen Odegaard and Partey do a thing. We've seen El Nene in various combinations. Maitland-Niles, if I haven't said that. What we can't see is, what you can't say is you believe in any of these partnerships over a 38-game period. We don't have that. We never had that in August. We didn't have that in August last year where we brought in Partey. And a lot of our problems are with midfield. You know, we're never going to see added creativity until that pivot is addressed. We're never going to control games better in terms of game management until that midfield is addressed. We're not going to defend better and from the front and across all aspects until that midfield is addressed. And considering Edu and Arteta were midfielders and they know how important this season was, they can't have any excuses. They can't, like, because a blind man could see it's not levels. I don't have confidence in any of our midfielders. I think going into this Everton game, Partey can't cry if he's dropped. If I see Partey and El Nene, I won't be against it. I won't be against it. If it's Lokonga and El Nene, I can't say Partey deserves to be dropped. If Xhaka somehow comes in, I think, you know, the man's as much as Xhaka, you know, I don't have to question mark his mentality and want to play and stuff. The man ain't been playing for a while. How fit is he? And could he suffer a relapse? I don't know nothing about physical stuff. I just know, is it the smartest thing to play Xhaka today, even if he can, at least off the bench, because you're going to need to wrap him in cotton wool. I know next month, in an ideal world, Xhaka's back. We bring in a midfielder that kind of ties us over for when people return. But we need to keep players fit. And obviously, when your squad is potentially down to a bare bone, you increase the risk of injuries, because you're now having to over rely on players and all of these sort of things. So it's a bit of a political one. Keep the opinions on whatnot coming, people. I'm loving it so far, man. Always interesting being here with you lot. We're still only at 92 likes. Come on, let's fix that up. Xhaka's been training. Speculation he might feature from the bench today, plus or minus, probably a plus. But saying that, the very fact that we scream about missing Xhaka and certain other individuals, respectfully to these players, it tells you where we're at as a club. It tells you where we're at. These guys should be squad players, nothing more. Pardon me, but I would say a boost, because he could hardly do worse. What we're saying, Miles, one love for that £1.79. You just bought me some round trees randoms, my dude. Appreciate you. So I know what sweets I'm getting for my watch along when I go Tesco's after this live stream. Shout out DG. Need Arsenal to show us something. And I mean, broski, respect for the super chat. I agree with your comment. The only thing I will say, how many times we sat here and said that though? It kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth, man. In certain fans' eyes, Xhaka over Vieira. Do you know what? Some fans have never seen us win a league title, so certain man just know foolishness, innit? And I know what you mean. What else? AC Milan compete for trophies with a young team. They are further in the process than us, but we should be competing for trophies next year. I don't know where Europe's concerned, if that's the case, but it is what it is. What else have we got in terms of comments? Keep them coming, people. Make sure, you're smashing the like button here. You're joining me for Football Manager at 3 p.m. on Twitch. You're checking out the Mo video, getting yourself in the Everton Arsenal mood. And obviously, I've just posted the link. You're here for the big one, people, as I keep showing you lot. And I will never, you lot told me to be shameless with my promotions. So that's what we're going to do, people. Make sure you're here. Everton versus Arsenal. I know some of you are not happy to see Aubameyang's face, but all I'd say with Aubameyang, if you play, make it count, make yourself a hero. You start scoring goals again. The fans don't want to hate you, I don't, hate's a strong word. I don't hate him. I don't want you to do bad. I don't want to scream Aubameyang's finished. I don't want to do any of that. But as much as I love you, Aubameyang, I love my club way more. You've been a fantastic man. Unpopular opinion, I find we always want to run towards they're not committed, their money and things. I don't think it's a money thing. I just think you're playing shit. We don't create anyways, and it's highlighted even more. You're not finishing the chances you made. You are getting older and probably regressing, and we're not tailoring your game to that. I do think for time, you, Tierney, Saka, there was times week in, week out, you're putting in performances, whether we win, lose, or draw, and we're wondering how you're playing to that standard. In the same way you was running away with it, maybe that tax has now done a complete turnaround, and now you're just playing woeful. I think you should, if Aubameyang leaves, Lacazette leaves, you're not got his skill set, but you should be a bench player. I hope you find your form, but the juice is gone. Unpopular opinion, I think you're just playing shit. I don't think you're not applying yourselves. I don't think it's anything to do with Aubameyang's money. You're just playing shit. You're just playing shit. I don't know what it is, but you need to go back to basics. I don't know if you need to, obviously, commiserations to Ian Wright, because I heard sadly he lost his mother. You need to shout. You probably need to shout troops for some Lauka. You look stressed right now, but big up troops. But what I'd say is you need to shout Ian Wright. You need to shout Ian Wright and do some training drills and shooting drills. You need to shout Henry. You need to go back to basics. That's what I feel. If you're a goalkeeper that can't keep a clean sheet, or a defender that's having a problem anywhere over the place, I just think you got to go back. I don't know nothing, but I just think you got to go back to basics. And for me, what concerns me with Aubameyang sometimes, and sometimes it's, to be fair, he has put in shifts this season and not necessarily scored and stunk the place out. I always look at what you're doing, because sometimes you can see a striker and it gives you faith. All right, cool, a man's going to come out of that bad form because he's still doing everything right. Aubameyang's getting in the chances to miss them. You could say that, but typically a striker's getting in chances. The link-up plays happen. It's just he's not scoring. For me, I can't see it, Car. It's not that you're dropping your head on anything. It's just you found a way to get worse than last year, Aubameyang. I don't know how you've done it, but you found a way to do it. I haven't seen that. I don't know what it was. You see that Aubameyang against Spurs, forget his goal. You know, that was almost, that's the closest Aubameyang's going to get to a Lacazette sort of performance. Look how he led the line, won headers. His goal was the icing on top of the cake. If he done that against Norwich as well, I believe, if I can remember correctly. If he was doing things like that, then I'd say, all right, cool. But I don't know you're playing. Genuinely, I don't know Aubameyang's there. Now, I think the only game of recent I'll give him a blight was I didn't understand why he was getting a lot of heat for the Liverpool one. Everyone was off it against Liverpool. You know, we're not creating, we're not on the game. I can't expect Lacazette or Aubameyang to do anything. Yeah, he should have probably scored, but that's it. You know, when it looks like you're trying too hard, in my opinion. You know, Watford stunk up the place. Newcastle stunk up the place. United stunk up the place. That's 3 games, you know. That's 3 games. That's enough now. And for me, the United one, you might as well say that's 4 games because that's almost like a double game. That's a 6-pointer. That's one where we're fighting each other for Europe. We're rivals. It's Old Trafford. We don't travel well there. Social media derby, all them sort of things there. And, you know, for me putting that performance there, you have to hold a drop in. Like, it's not like a Tavares thing where if Tavares dropped a one clanger, you could say, all right, cool, you could drop him, but he's been 30 in the other incidences. Aubameyang's found a way to decline from last year. I still maintain faith in my in my captain. I don't want to turn on him. You're still part of my plans this season and probably next season is your last, you know, but we can't carry you, you know. What's going to help? We're in a decisive period. Is this trying to get Aubameyang back into form? You know, because he could score 3 goals and we can see 10. You know, and it don't help. He's not the man. And sometimes maybe being out on the bench can get him his mojo back where he sits there and he goes, hold on, am I a dickhead? I'm on the bench. Let me remember, these men forgot who Aubameyang is, and he gets back to being the Aubameyang he used to be. Now, this is probably a fantasy, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm a seasoned Gooner. I no longer have any expectations. I don't get overhyped. Just see what I see, and that's it. Kind of depressing. I feel the same way. In my opinion, too much talk of raising the floor of the team, not good enough raising of the ceiling in terms of bringing in first team quality. I'd agree. Yo, DG, my man, that top 4 spot is wide open. We have dropped 6 points in the last 3 games, but we are still 4 points behind 4th. Arteta is low-key running out of time. He needs to start doing his thing, man. DG, do you think Arteta has egg on his face considering how impactful Martinelli has been since he's come in? You could say that, but I would say no, because to be fair, Arteta, he seems quite pissed off when asked about Martinelli. He said, oh, he will get his chances, we rate him, we play him. Again, I'm being a bit, I don't know the word, but maybe I'm being a bit like, I'm gassing Arteta a bit, but maybe he always felt this is when your chance is coming. You know, he wanted to see something in training and he felt he's finally seeing it. And lo and behold, against Newcastle, Budoof, banger. United, again, he put in a decent performance. That's all we asked. So you could say, yeah, but I would say no if I put myself in his shoes and I say, well, if I've always been rating my man and he's done stuff that I rate him to, like, what can I say sort of thing? The thing is, unpopular opinion, but players can decline and be competent, you know. Hella players have declined. You can still decline and still be a good player, you know. It doesn't mean you're bin juice. But I agree. He said, I actually just think Aubameyang has declined. Seems tame. Nothing he does is with conviction anymore. He doesn't seem fired up anymore. Look at his body language in the Spurs game in comparison. Kind of just mentioned that, so I agree. I don't want top 7. I don't think anyone does. DG, what do you think about the Pepe situation? No, he's inconsistent, but I think he's the best finisher at the club. Like Martinelli, I think we should utilize him a bit more, especially when other people are underperforming. But honestly, broski, I'm tired, man. Tired of it now, man. Like, I feel sorry for him because he's just not getting a look in, but he just needs to keep it moving, man. He just needs to, like, I'm tired of the dramas, man. Like me, I'm just tired of the dramas, like the love dramas and the stories, and I just want to go back to looking at the team. I'm tired of this. Why there's always going to be it. We're a football club, but there seems like there's too much dramas. And for us, anyways, when one man isn't in the team, it's because of some baggage. It's not necessarily because of they've been doing the job or not that they've necessarily been playing bad. It's just other players have been taking their jobs, doing their jobs really and truly. Aubameyang seems like, woe is me, man. Like, it, you know, for me, I don't even know. I'm at that point where I don't even want to decipher it anymore. Like, let's decipher it off the field. Like, on the field, if you're not scoring, then everyone else should get opportunities then, innit? Like, I'm one of them. Like, listen, the coaching staff, other people, they can dedicate their time to the Aubameyang show or Aubameyang therapy and whatnot. I need to see Arsenal therapy, bro. Aubameyang's out the team. Lacazette, take your chances. You know, you're not signing a new deal. play your way into, make yourself attractive to other people in it. Or I'm exaggerating, but Eddie and Nketiah, the same logic. Balogun, if you got to start someone who we're going to get onto in just a second, people. So it is what it is. Carrying on with that, though, apparently Thomas Partey has given his time in the Premier League a 4 out of 10. Being a bit harsh, I'd give it a 5, but you haven't stood out really. There's been a couple of games. There's been a struggle of consistency. We know there's been injury. You know you haven't had a partner in midfield, but I think a lot of it this year has been you're not there. I do think Partey is extremely more limited than Arsenal fans gave him credit for. He's not this all-action combative midfielder that can pass the ball consistently and do whatever. He's a box-to-box / ball-winning midfielder who can pass the ball, but it's not his skill set. When players come to Arsenal, we start putting them on levels they're not. But the man himself, again, obviously, hopefully we don't get any copyright. Shout out Sky Sports for this one and whatnot. And there's little tricks and trades to get around this, and one of them is turning it slightly lower. But let's see what he has had to say himself. Let's remove the Sky Sports sign.
Would you give yourself out of 10 for your performances for Arsenal so far since you've been here?
Well, I think with the marks from the people that watch from outside, personally, I would say 5-6. But with the marks of the people also, I'll give
5-6.
4.
So what did he say there? He'd give himself a 5-6, same as me. I can't lie. Listen, I'm biased, innit? We're all biased. I'm a Partey fan. That doesn't mean I can't keep it true. I think he's had good performances, hasn't set the world alight, hasn't been that consistent Partey we needed. And considering it looked like he had a bad boy pre-season, it's a madness. There's been injuries, there's been that struggle. Tactically, I think there's a lot of imbalances in the team, in the center of the park, in the final third. Unpopular one, but in many aspects in our defensive third as well. So I do discount a bit, but Partey, the IQ on the ball ain't been there at times. Try to stop killing pigeons and keep the shots down. There's been moments, but it's the consistency. He's given it a 4. We personally say 5-6, but people outside 4. I'm keeping faith in him. I can't lie to you. I think he's a good midfielder. I think he's our best midfielder. I think you give him a partner and do a lot more. That being said, if you're not doing the business like now against Everton, I don't think you can complain if you're on the bench, because you ain't been putting them in, especially when it matters for us as well. Spurs, you was amazing. Didn't see you against United. You weren't appalling. I think you had a better second half. First, I wasn't really impressed with. Liverpool, we weren't really. I'd say your worst game for me this season, it could be Palace where Lokonga and you messed up, but it'd probably be Brighton for me, I would say. But anyways, he went on to say,
because there are moments, as I said, in the game where I can, be really hurting the other team, and there are some moments I just, allow myself, or because I'm not yet, how do you call it, adapted to the Premier League, maybe I lose a bit of focus. And
so he said it there. He's not fully adapted. He loses a bit of focus, and that's the thing I see with Partey. He has these brain farts where, they're getting exaggerated a bit more this season. But like he used to have these, like, he'll play well for 85 minutes, and then there's a 5-minute spell where underhit, overhit, getting caught in midfield. And that's the thing. Lokonga suffers with it. The Premier League, you got to be switched on. It's a mental thing more than it's about ability. We've been seeing wonderful footballers fail here. We're going to see more footballers fail here. It's a mentality thing.
that's when everything goes down.
Your stats were good at Old Trafford. I think 7 balls forward. You played a big part in the second goal.
This is what I'm saying. You bossed it second half.
People watching maybe thought you were a little bit below your normal level.
And that's good. It means you got big expectations.
Well, I think from the start, I had a couple of moments where I gave, I think, 2 balls away.
Yeah, man, you was hitting them too much.
Someone watching TV from home is normal, or someone in the stadium is normal.
Big up my guy there, the international, man. I don't give a shit, man. You're my guy, man. It's not just your guy. You, Tini, Gabriel, you're my guys. Saka, Smith Rowe, you're my guys. Aubameyang, you're my guy. Even Xhaka, you're my guy. Obviously, you're not my guy like that, but you're my guy. All of you lot, I love all of you lot, man. You're all good people. I don't know why, but I just want. I'm sorry, people. I pause. I don't know why, but like, listen. I'm a hypocrite, man. Cause when I start seeing, I want man to do well. Like this used to be the Wenger problem. Like I used to be so mad at Wenger on occasion. And then I'll hear him talk. I'm like, you are trying. It's just going the wrong way. Let's go again. But going on.
Yeah, I'm someone I know when, from the defense to attack, I can help the team a lot. I have to be
TP5.
read more the game.
Do as many Wiz Kids
Having
concerts
a
as you
lot
want.
of, continuous game. I think it's normal that some games
Hit the like button. Don't forget, folks.
in the game, I'll be down, but I think with more games, with more confidence, I'll be able, to get to where I want to be.
So you big up you, Partey, man. Hopefully you do get more confidence and all of those sort of things. But moving away from that, apparently Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta understands why fans are frustrated with Thomas Partey after his mixed start to life in the Premier League, but tips the midfielder to impress against Everton. And one thing I'll give Arteta, everyone in their nan said he's got poor man management. I think, last season it was like he was picking favourites. It was almost like there could be two people in this room. You've had a bad game. You're not playing again. But I could have 10 bad games and I'm still going to play sort of thing. And certain man will get backed in the press. Certain man will kind of be criticised in the press. I think now he's just support. I think his game management, man management, I mean to say, is better. I think he's been supporting all these players a lot really in the press. And I think people, you can't be slow. You can't be silent in praising and very vocal in condemning. I think as a fan, I think he's almost praising these guys a bit too much and backing them a bit too much without kind of being honest. He's done this with Aubameyang more so. But he says he understands why we're frustrated. Mikel Arteta can understand why Arsenal fans are getting frustrated with Thomas Partey. And this means you can play a lot more, man. And, he's obviously said stuff as well. If we go and look at Partey himself, I spoke about these comments earlier in the week. He said, for me, this was in the aftermath of the United game. He said, for me, I have to keep on doing my best, keep trying, keep improving, try to come back to my best because the team needs me, the team needs us. I think we're improving each day and it's going to be good. If we want to be at the top, it's normal that we have to fight. We have to be under control and try to win games. So, yeah, that was also his comments. But scrolling all the way down, allegedly, Arteta said, we need him at his best. He can produce more and he knows that. We have to demand more from him in relation to Partey. He's had rotten luck with injuries. Is this it? Arteta went on to say the fact that he's had so many injuries has not been really helpful for him because he hasn't found the platform physically to be at his best. Then he's had some games where he has been more consistent than in others. That's true. Mikel is ultimately confident Partey will emerge as his prize midfielder and believes it is the player's ability, not his big transfer fee, that is leading people to judge him harshly. That's true, really. I don't think it's related to the money. The supporters have seen the quality and what he can provide on the pitch. We want to see that more often, facts. But, I think, me included, away from Partey, I just think Arsenal and Arteta, we keep just looking at one man. Liverpool don't just look at Salah. Of course, if they're needing a goal, well, Origi's the guy. It's a team game. Origi was the guy. We need everyone, They look at Salah. They look at Fabinho, Henderson, Van Dijk. For me, whether we win, lose or draw, games are easier than not. We're looking at the same 3-4 players. We're still looking at Saka and Smith Rowe. Typically, Aubameyang's been that. Probably now Ramsdale's thrown into that. Xhaka on occasion. Until I can look at the whole 11 and have faith in everyone, it's a myth. But he's right. He said he's an important player in the team. Obviously, we've missed him for long periods since he's joined, and that's not ideal. But our aim is to get the best out of him and how we're going to do that. So, yeah, apparently, and Xhaka's obviously getting closer to fitness. So that's good for Arteta to have more options to choose from. So that's where Mikel Arteta and Thomas Partey are concerned, people. He's demanded more from the Ghanaian international, who I sold in Football Manager. Which I wish I didn't because I haven't even won any trophies yet. I have. Apparently, now that the news has broken that Bellingham shall be investigated by police, comments after the clash, should clubs be more mindful of shielding younger players from the media? They should always do, but I think it's ridiculous. I mean, the guy, if I was a convicted murderer and you mentioned I'm a convicted murderer from whatever context, of course, it's not necessarily fair or nice. No one deserves to be reminded of their mistakes consistently unless they've done the madness where they deserve the jungle justice. I don't think Bellingham's allowed his opinion. How can you've made conscientious decisions and bookie decisions in the game and you have got that pass, you're allowed that. I think it's a bit OTT investigating him by police. It's probably more of a statement more than anything. What are the police going to do? Lock him up and send him to German jail? I'm sure a couple of German prisoners would probably put him on their five-a-side team and that. But yeah, man, Big up DG. I can't get excited while there's talk of El Nene and Xhaka playing ahead of Sambi and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Bro, buy a family pack of those sweets. I appreciate that super chat. And you know what? It's Roundtree's random, some fruit pastels. What? It's £2.50 for 4 Lucasades. Hey, we're getting some Lucasades as well, my guy. One love for the super chat, them. I'd give Partey a 3 so far. I don't know what he's done except save a few goals. 3's OTT overdoing it. Arteta has only made 1 attacking signing in his tenure. I don't think he's adhered to the attacking philosophy, which we were given the impression he would. Thoughts, DG? I mean, I can't. There's no thoughts. I haven't seen any of this attacking philosophy, really and truly. You know, I haven't. It's harder to coach an attack, and I haven't seen any of that personally. I do think that he's trying a bit more than we give him credit for, but that's about it. Only 1 attacker, though. Is that right? What? Who is it? Odegaard. Nah, what? Odegaard, Willian. They're attacking players. That's 2. Help me out, people. Fucking hell, it might only be 2, blood. Bro. Partey needs more discipline and sacrifice in his personal life to improve and meet expectation on the pitch. Daily Ben, I don't disagree, but it's like, how do people know what's going on in his personal life? Like, how? He could be in bed at 8. He could be in bed at 8 p.m. and eating all the food. It's very. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just find it very blasé. I think football. Obviously, these are professional footballers, but I just feel we're very quite brazen, really. We were not with these guys in their personal life, really and truly, to be knowing any of that, really. You know. He is at a lot of money. How do we know any of that? And to be fair with you, if you're training from 9 to 5, you can do whatever in your personal life, in my opinion, respectfully, and long as away from the obvious. You just need to put in performances on the pitch. How do we know he ain't got discipline in his life? Of course, he loves London, and you see him you see him everywhere, really and truly. But why can't you go out? Half of you are not doing the best in your jobs, you still do other things. If you lot found examples in your own life, you'd be a bit sensible. I think it's very brazen and quite right. I don't know, it just rubs you up the wrong way. Like, even with Bellerin was shit. He is shit. He'll always be shit. But it's like, man can't just look at the fact that he's vegan and say that's why he's not doing well. If Messi comes out and tells you vegan, what is it? You need to put in a shift on the pitch. But what's going on with the personal life? Really and truly. Maybe if you're talking about diet and if there's dietary changes, yeah, but we don't know if he's always out clubbing and fucking, pardon my language, until the late hours. We don't know. And realistically, these ballers, you think you're any different? You don't think Jack Grealish is out on a Maz all the time? We don't know that. Respectfully, and that doesn't go just for Partey. The other week, they said that with Sancho. Oh, personal life. They said that. What personal life, bro? Come on, man. Hey, fair use. Can't get done for copyright. Fair use. Well, I hope not. Fair use, man. I didn't steal anything. We used it to talk about them. And when this is done, I'll put it in the, what them thing called again, the description. At least he can acknowledge that us fans feel he can do better than what he expects. So I'll give him that. Just hope he can prove the doubters wrong and push on from this fact. Appreciate you, James. Partey is good. He'll get into any top team, in my opinion. I don't know about any, but yeah, man. Partey isn't as good as we thought. I wouldn't say that. I think he's just a lot more limited than people thought. He's doing the Arsenal thing. We thought Partey was going to come and solve everything, just like Ozil was going to come and solve everything. Grow up a bit. Trust, I was getting teary there, man. I'm feeling good, man. I appreciate you lot, man. Bro, you got to support the team, man. Everyone. Sup, DG? I think he is learning the aspect of management, trying to put his arm around the players more. It's all about a reaction. Some of you must be managers in your daily jobs, right? Yeah. You could think, I could be your like your worker, innit? You could think I'm a fucking dickhead. I'm shit at my job. I'm this, that, and the other. But you might need me. Whether you can bring someone else in or not, you might need me. And you might be telling me you're doing shit, this and that, but it's not getting a reaction. But you might tell me I'm actually doing good when I'm not doing good, but you're telling me I'm doing good. So I might think, he's chatting shit, I can do better. Or it might give me a bit of confidence. Sometimes you have to play the game. You can't always rule with an iron fist. And I think when Arteta come in, he gave people their chances. Mustafi was coming out from the wind, rightly or wrongly. Then he tried to do the iron fist thing, and it didn't really bang. Now there's times where you got to do that. There's times when you got to be a bit softer. There's times where you've got to do what you want to do as a manager. But I think he's playing the game a lot more smartly. What happened to Bellingham? He criticised the referee. Him and Haaland criticised the referee after the game against Bayern Munich, man. Hit the like button if you haven't done such already. One love to everybody that's tuned in. We're at 155 likes and we're still going, people. Our squad is a very good squad. I don't know about that. Problem is he cannot get all the players to his style of play, and better option for us is to change one guy. I've reached a point where I cannot stand Arteta. A bit harsh, but fair play. But too much salt. Fans can always predict the future. The future. Fans are always "I told you so" and hindsight merchants. Like, why? The thing I hate is, again, money or lifestyle reasons could be reasons behind Partey's question marks and Aubameyang's form. But how do you know that? Like, why can't a man just be playing shit because you're playing shit? Why is it always got to be something's going on in someone's personal life, which it could be, but why is it always got to be that? Why has it always got to be some higher problem? Why does everyone feel so brazen to come out and talk about someone's personal life? You lot wouldn't like that. If you lot in your job, some of you are shit at your jobs. You know you are. You know you're shit at your jobs, or you're struggling, or whatever. Is it because you're not focused? Like, what do one man want? The man want Partey to go home and do 1,000,000 push-ups. Like, what the man want man to do? Because you lot say this and then you switch off. You lot kill players. You kill players for having a personal life. You kill players for saying they're not watching football, even though I don't agree. It doesn't matter what players do. Fans are not fair. And it's just because these men are just, they're in the personal life. Man, think they can talk brazen with it. You know, was Partey's problem, was it a personal life at the start of the season? Because Partey's only turned poor in the last few games, you know, really and truly. I'm not talking about expecting more. He started off quite well. Was, you know, when Aubameyang was doing this thing against Spurs, was that a money thing? I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong. I'm just saying people need to be able to consider a variable different from themselves. And I'm just saying, if you're going to think, like, stop yourself sometimes. Because I had to stop myself. I used to be that. And it still might be that, it's personal life. Then I thought, well, one, it might be, but two, why is it? And three, you know, the logic I've just said, it might not make sense, bro. Man, man talk about footballers getting haircuts. Obviously, if you got blonde hair and if you dyed your hair blonde and you put bare signs and logos in your hair and you got the mesh gloves and your shit, I'm gonna draw you out. But it's jarring. Why can't man just be playing dead? Because they're playing dead, man. I love for the super chat. You got 20 quid. Roundtrees and Lucasades aren't healthy. Get yourself something green and herbal. All right. Will do. Hey, probably eating. Uncle Party is probably eating too much, bro. I need to eat some more carbs than that, man. Like, probably eating too much of the yam and that, man. Do you think Partey would work better in a 3 than a 2? Maybe, but I personally, I think a lot of it is the partner. But for me, in the last few weeks with Partey, it's not been you ain't got your partner. Obviously, you get him a better partner, you see a better Partey. You've just been doing dumb shit on occasion. I think he can play in a 3 and a 2, so I don't think for him it's a cap really and truly. You know, he's a ball-winning box-to-box midfielder. He should be able to slot into many systems. I like DG, too much personal life talk because these modern ballers allow us. 25 years ago, ballers were doing a madness which no one knew. Obviously, if you're doing a madness and you're good, but come on, man. How many rumors at Arsenal, you know, man, you go walk around and you see Armstrong, you know, man, are on the lash getting pissed until stupid o'clock in the morning and then going and playing a blinder. It don't make sense, really and truly. Nah, let's fund the trip to Barca for DG after the Miss Vargas situation. Go on then, man. Let's get the Christmas present PS5 first, though, people. I don't think you can get anyone to fight for you regularly without backing them once in a while, even if you know you're not saying the truth. Exactly. And to be fair, he always gasses about these guys are your senior players. And I just think, you know, you look at our squad, none of the senior players they're all shaky right now. You know, I would say Aubameyang's a shaky player right now. Tierney's moving shaky. Partey's looking shaky-ish. Xhaka, when he has been here, has been shaky. Let's not rewrite history. Lacazette, shaky. Pardon me. Score prediction for tonight, by God's grace, 2-0/2-1 Arsenal. Exactly. not making sense, bro. Like, but Uncle Partey just needs to chill, man. Personal life is irrelevant. You're being paid to do a job as a club captain and highest paid player in the squad, score goals. That's facts where Aubameyang's concerned, but we're talking about Partey still. I mean, Xhaka will help Partey, but there's been times they've been collapsed together. Like, you know, people said Xhaka weren't needed when you know, people weren't saying he was needed going into Spurs, and then he was needed. Then obviously what happened after that, they said he's not. You know, when Odegaard and Partey looked good at Burnley away, man, we're saying that's the thing. These guys are flavored. Half our squad is flavor of the month. You know, there's very few, and I said it at the start, there's not a partnership in that midfield, and there's not a select few. There's very few players, if any, that you can say are going to do it for 10, 20, or even 38 games where it's difficult. Ronaldo, Salah, you know, Mr. Consistent. They're not going to do it for 38 Premier League games. If not, Ronaldo would have scored in every game he's played. But the best players are more consistent than the others. And I'm exaggerating, but there's players that aren't necessarily world-class, top-class showmans that do things like that as well. I didn't know Arsenal have a game in hand on United. Your top 4 charges still on, bro. You have to be able to take advantage of these things. Partey having a great work-life balance might actually help his performance and help him settle better. Let's not forget that he's still fairly new to the English league. DG, if we finish 5th, is it a failure? I mean, for what Arsenal want to do, I think it is a failure. But considering where we've been the last 2 years, where we're at, and the average squad age and all of these things, I wouldn't say it's a failure, but it's nothing to scream and shout. Definitely better to scream and shout because we'll be in Europe and, you know, not where it was last year. But I wouldn't be singing from the rooftops and proclaiming we're back and them things there. I couldn't care less what the players do in their personal life, but the pressure is on for the Everton game. Arteta, and I would say the players in the asterisks need to deliver, and I can't disagree with that. Me personally, I just want to see Arsenal players do good. You're not alone, chef. Therefore, gonna need that, man. Bro, big up Tony Adams and Merson and that, but bro, what were them man on Tuesday Club? What were these man on? You know, I feel it. Not these two, not these lot, but there's people of that generation, pundits that used to do that and go out on the lash and move brazy. You know, go out there and cry that players are taking selfies. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Come on now, it don't make no sense. Like people need to stop and think really what's going on now. Really and truly, really. This is what I'm just stop and think for a second, people. It don't make no sense. It don't make the slightest bit of sense. And you lot are smarter than that, man. Stop feeding yourself tosh. Anyways, away from that though, Mr. Balogun's Florian Balogun has been linked with a loan move away, not to a specific club. He's told us kind of what we've known. He hasn't told us, but Ornstein has said Arsenal will allow him to go out on loan, which is needed. Minutes are currency. He's not playing ball. And I think, you know, considering Eddie Nketiah has started ahead of him in the cup, he come on against United and Balogun was playing the day before. That shows you when you get away from the euphoria of signing a new contract and all the social media antics, you're nowhere near Arsenal's first team picture right now. Now, what you can do is go out on loan, play well, and cause Arsenal to rethink their plans because it's a pivotal summer. Tried to buy a striker last year. Lacazette's gone. Eddie should be gone in January. Aubameyang, especially as he keeps not scoring, should be a squad player, nothing more for his last year. There's an opportunity for you, Balogun. Now, obviously, if he has the best case scenario, which he goes on loan, he shells it down. The next case will be if he goes to the Championship, can you do it in the Prem? If you do it in the Prem, can you do it again? If you do it in Germany, can you do it? Can you score X amount of goals again? Can you do it in the bigger leagues? You know, at 20 years of age, there's going to be bumps and bruises, but he needs to go on loan. You've seen him badding up the under-23s. You know, he's scoring worldies. He's scoring hat-tricks even when we're losing. You know, Derby, Leicester, Brighton, you know, 23s. He's one of the best players on the pitch. It's not even an accomplishment because he's left that level. He's 20. Shouldn't be there. Needs to be getting experiences like the Brentford one where defenders are pulling his ears. He's snitching to the ref. They're saying what's going on. Dark horse at his finest. That's what he needs to be out of his comfort zone. If you're the smartest kid in school, you might think you're the smartest kid in the world and whatnot. But if you go to a special school where you have to pass a certain exam and you're all talented kids, are you really that special? You're not, are you? You know, you're not, you know, it's like when I talk about young players going to Manchester City, you're not special because you're a special footballer is why you're not special. If everybody, you know, if there's 10 Messis in the room, Messi's not special anymore because you're all special. You're all Messi. You don't stand out again. You get it? So it's one of them. Minutes are currency. Go out and play football, man. learn our lessons, because not Aubameyang, Mr. Eddie here is playing catch up because he never went out on loan. Joe Willock, Nelson didn't go out on loan and find the right clubs when we should have. Any surprise why, comparison to their age mates, they're not really there? Why Joe Willock struggling right now, despite a purple patch, which was a false image and allowed us to finesse Newcastle? Why, Nelson hasn't hit the heights? Why Eddie Nketiah, when he went to Leeds, it didn't bang? Go and expose people. The right loans. You can't just scream loan a man out, It all depends. But anyways, Arsenal will let promising striker Balogun go out on loan in January. Arsenal have decided to allow Folarin Balogun to leave the club on loan in January until the end of the season. The 20-year-old is attracting a huge amount of interest, as you know, Swansea, Middlesbrough off the top of my head. And he's been playing under 21s. This is all without playing significant senior football. But a decision on his destination has yet to be made. All parties are still to discuss where would be best for his development. Exactly when in January a loan might come remains unclear because of the short-term futures, obviously, of Laka and Eddie. I think Laka runs down his deal. Eddie, we need to move him on. Both have contracts expiring, blah, blah, blah. And as you know, Aubameyang probably won't be there too long, but is likely to be with Gabon. So even if Balogun does get an opportunity, Gabon, even if he does, you're going to get rubbed out after a couple of weeks when everybody's back. Although the situation could change, Arsenal's intention is for a striker to depart temporarily. The club made clear their high hopes for the England under-21 international, rewarding him with a long-term deal until 2025. As you know, Aubameyang's 33 in June. And it also helps the case for being a long-standing member of the first team squad. But it's understood finding the right challenge for the second half of the season is key. As you know, he's got 16 goals from 12 games. That's sick, but that's irrelevant now. I know you can get bare goals. We're trying to make a man a flat track bully. We're going to be having them. I've seen Akpom, J. Emmanuel Thomas, Eddie Nketiah, Balogun. There's a random, probably little, Jaden or, mixed race Jaden or Jamal or Alfie. These men are somewhere in Haylen right now, and they're going to do the same thing, But there's no point being a bully at them levels there against kids you're playing years in, years out. When it comes to first team, you can't do nothing. He has developed, but it ain't happened to where we need it to be, people, really and truly. And obviously, he was part of I need to do a review on this, on the under-21 side that came back from 2 goals down and won on penalties in the Papa John's Trophy, people. It is thought that Arsenal recognise Balogun must be challenged at a higher level after his exploits so far this season. He is ensuring he is exposed to the right environment, team and league will be taken into consideration when deciding his loan destination. Hope that is the case, people. Hope that is the case, because he is going to struggle at times. He's not going to score 100 goals. Our trajectory is not there. There's going to be times you struggle. You're going to go through droughts. You're going to go through purple patches. He's a young man trying to install consistency within his game, but fans just see potential and start talking out their arse, if I'm completely honest with you. A lot of fans don't even know what the fuck it means. Sorry for my frustrations, people, and swearing, but when it comes to youth talent, it jars me. It really does jar me. Our fans just draw conclusions about things and they don't know what the hell they're on about, if I'm honest with you. For what it's worth as well, though, people, again, let me close that. We've been linked with, we haven't been linked, but apparently Ralf Ragnick could have been Arsenal manager once upon a time. Ralf Ragnick held Arsenal talks, but ended them when the Gunners did this. Ralf Ragnick, let me scroll the way down, people. Apparently, he has had long ambitions to work in the Premier League, and according to German magazine Kicker, held talks with Arsenal when they were looking for a replacement for Arsene Wenger. However, when Arsenal opted to extend Mesut Ozil's contract without consulting Ragnick, the German tactician ended the talks. The Gunners eventually turned to Unai Emery to start the post-Wenger era at the Emirates. I don't know if there's any truth in this, but it makes it interesting nonetheless. As you can see, I was looking for more sort of reports around this. Arsenal passed up the chance to appoint Ralf Ragnick despite 2 recommendations, people, when it came to replacing Arsene Wenger. As you know, he's got a wide ranging of stuff. What's this? Oh, to be fair, if you go back, Arsenal have Ragnick on shortlist as possible Arsene Wenger replacement. So there is obviously this really and truly, and obviously we know what he's done. Mikel Arteta was on the list and ultimately ran it. So maybe Ragnick had concerns about the structure of the club and everything else. It would have been lovely to see what he could have done at the club, but it is what it is. What were his recommendations, people? The Gunners were looking for a figurehead to replace the legendary Wenger. Apparently, Jens Lehmann was an advocate. Where are these 2 recommendations, though? They went for him. It doesn't really say that, unless I'm missing something. I don't see the recommendations or whatever. But Arsenal failed Ralf Ragnick chase after Jens Lehmann and Per Mertesacker recommendation. Obviously, also it's probably them, the German lads, helping each other out, people. So yeah, it wasn't meant to be, really, you know. And you know, I don't know how true the other thing is, but that's that, in it, where Ragnick's concerned. Obviously, on that note as well, people, there's obviously this as well. You know, Ragnick dismisses nothing rumours surrounding Arsenal vacancy. So he quashed it at the time as well for what it was worth. But what am I trying to find? We was linked with a Southampton lad. If I can find it, I must have clicked off it. Oh, here it is. Mohamed El Naziri, I can't say it, has messaged for Arsenal, Leicester amid Southampton transfer speculation. We've been linked with him again. He's having quite the life at Southampton since obviously his 2-year or so spell at Celtic. He says he and his family are happy at Southampton. So it is what it is for the former Basel man. You know, he said Southampton were following him for another year. I don't really believe in any of these people, you know. He's been linked with both clubs. He's spoken more generally about his life, so I don't know what to read into that. So I'll leave you lot to read into it, because I think it's a bag of nonsense. But anyways, that's that where Ralf Ragnick is concerned, and obviously any BS transfer rumours. And obviously, like I said, commiserations to the family of Ian Wright, because he's lost his mum, which is never nice for anybody. I could be dreaming, but would a 4-3-3 with Partey, Smith Rowe, and Odegaard be a thing? It would be, you know, especially when we're playing low blocks, but I don't see Arteta doing it. Partey really needs a defensive midfielder behind him. That's my opinion. I hear it, but if we're talking about Partey needs a defensive midfielder, then where are we at, really, you know? You are our defensive midfielder, and that doesn't mean you're a 6. You know, you're a box-to-box ball winning. You're meant to be the most defensively minded. So if we're going to add another one, like, what are we going to do with going with the ball forward, man? I've answered this already, broski, but my opinion on Aubameyang is, well, it's nothing. I love the guy, but you're not doing the job, innit? It's a results business. You're not doing the job. You know, I don't know what it is. A lot of us sit here and say age and declining. And I know the systems are different, but then I look at, and I know I'm not saying they're these levels, but is it an age thing when you look and you see half the time in the leagues right now, it's the old lads doing the things. Lewandowski's Lewandowski, but he's still over 30. Ronaldo, the same logic. Vardy isn't slowing down. Benzema is Benzema, not slowing down. Obviously, these are a small sample size, but there must be more. So is it an age thing with Aubameyang? We hear he looks after himself. He stayed in Italy, and this was the tosh people were saying. So I don't think it's anything to do with the diet and stuff like that. You know, obviously with his age, it's a natural decline, but Vardy's probably not the same Vardy he used to be. Vardy's declined. He's still scoring goals. So I don't know what it is with Aubameyang, but what I know is we ain't got time to really right now try and figure it out. Let's figure it out off the field in terms of getting 3 points. I don't know if Aubameyang makes it stronger. Saying that, now I hope Aubameyang proves us wrong and scores and all them things there. You know, but we've seen these problems, really, you know. Go back to the Spurs game. Saka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang all could have been dropped. Xhaka shouldn't have played, you know. Aubameyang didn't really kick on. The rest did, really and truly. Aubameyang's decline, but so what, man? Ronaldo's decline from the Ronaldo he used to be. There's still a tune you can get out of them. Aubameyang, I don't know what it is, but he's failing, and I think our problems are made even worse because we're not creating. We don't create. We don't have goal scorers. Our goal scorers have gone missing. We need to put a search team out all over Finsbury Park. I don't know where the man they are. Where do you think we'll finish this season, and what would you say is a successful season? If Arsenal is where I would want it to be, is top 4 minimum, really. You know, a successful season for Arsenal is if you can finish 5th or beyond, really get back into Europe. And I would say just look like we have a effing football team. Not say the same things we said at the start, but again, that's because the bar's on the floor. Where do I think we'll finish this season? I think more of the same from last year, unless something changes. My prediction, I'm going to say a humble 2-1 for Arsenal. I mean, if Arteta gets top 4, he has to stay, man. Where would you send him ideally, DG? What, Balogun? I'm not too sure right now, you know, but I don't know if the problem is you could say screaming Premier League, but who needs goals? You could say Newcastle, Norwich. Has Balogun got the CV to show that? And if you're trying to stay in the league, the minute he might score 2 games, but if he's not scoring in the next 3, are you going to keep playing him? Because it's all fun and games developing him for Arsenal. He might not be in the league. So I would say, ideally, I would love him to go France or Germany. You know, them teams there, they have to kind of work with what they have. Small squad, you know. Could you send him to St. Etienne even, you know? France. Claude Puel seems to be giving young player chances there. You know, he's been linked with Swansea. Swansea done quite well. You look at Brewster, you look at Conor Gallagher, you look at a couple of these sort of names. There's that. You know, he's been linked with Middlesbrough. Chris Wilder wanted you at Sheffield. There's that angle. I would just say someone that has the smallest squad, someone that's going to play him really. And it all depends. Is he gonna thingy? You know, is he gonna go and play under a 4-4-2? Is he gonna play under something else? What's gonna be the case? So yeah, man, St. Etienne be on my mind. At this moment, we're 5th, 6th best squad in the league. Oh, I don't know. If I really thought about it, I don't know. I mean, Arteta just has to show improvement, man. True. So nothing to do than wishing a victory to the Invincible. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Yo, DG, Aubameyang has never been clinical during his best form at Arsenal. He was always wasteful. I mean, we all know he needs spam chances, but I mean, let's be real. How can we say Aubameyang's not clinical? The man scored a barrage of goals, man. Let's be serious. The man has been clinical. Let's not talk nonsense. Doesn't make sense, fam. Respectfully. DG with more tabs open than my local pub. Appreciate the work rate. Do you know what? Do you know what? Yeah. Bear of these have come today searching for articles and uploading things for you, man. I'm sorry, man. It'll look a bit cleaner, man. That's a good one. Marvin Morgan died. Don't lie. That's fucked. Never. Nah, man. Fresh kid. Nah, man. You never did. You never did. You was tweeting yesterday. Nah, man. You're not dead. You're not serious. Nah, man. This shit is shit, blood. R.I.P., man. What the fuck, man? Obviously, I don't know him from nowhere, but he was up like, you know, I'm seeing him do his fresh kid thing. He looked like, you know, it's nice to see. He's positive community. R.I.P. Marvin Morgan, man. That's fucked. Hate seeing people lose their life so soon. I don't want to say the cliche thing, people, but you have to really cherish your life, man. You never know when it's done. This is a man who's died, I don't even know, but he's born in 1983. It's not saying his age, people. It's not saying his age, so I don't know. He's born on the same day as me. That's fucked up, man. You got to judge your life on how you affect others positively. And this is someone who's done that, innit? So, you know, he's not dead. His legacy will always go on. 38 years of age. God forbid, man, you know, he's probably got children and all these things. You see him die. You see the, the Off-White brother die as well. R.I.P. Donny, man. What the fuck, man? It's been a shit day, man. You know, it's been a shit it's been a shit hour, really. You know, Ian Wright lost his mum, you know, 30 seconds before going live on ITV. Football's important, but it means fuck all when people are dying, man. It's kind of spoiled my mood, really. I'm not gonna cap, man. I can't lie to you. Like, it's upsetting, man. R.I.P. Marvin Morgan, man. That's fucked up, man. Partey is the DM. I don't know why people saw him to be this maestro. It certainly wasn't at Atletico. At Atletico, Partey just broke up players, started the counter-attack. He wasn't the one dominating midfielder with possession or dictating, even though he had his moments. At Arsenal, was exposed. And why is that? Because we start thinking man can do everything, Morgan. You know, exactly. You know, how it's not just him. Everyone that signs for this club, we was doing that with Lokonga. He can do 6, he can do 8, and I don't doubt it. But what is he first things first? We start blurring the lines, man. Brighton could be good as well. Why not? Yeah, I do rate Jacob Ramsey. Still, all them Ramsey brothers. We will finish 6th or 7th this year, and Arteta Inns will consider that as progress. Club's gone, man. Knee-jerk reaction last week. Everyone was talking about how Arteta had turned it around. Now it's time to get rid. Let's see him at the end of the season. I definitely ain't said get rid or whatever. So, you know, Tom's sending a message to you lot, people. If the shoe rascal out fits, you better rascal out. Wear it in that. R.I.P. Marvin, man. That's fucked up, blood. All I've seen is that we're doing better against the lesser sides. If I'm honest, if I was looking at it harshly, I'd say that as well. And even that, I don't think it's sustainable because we're not shutting them out. Even when it looks like one-way traffic, I implore all of you lot, Newcastle, Watford, Norwich, watch them all again. Watch all them games there again. And you will see. I'm doing good, my guy. I hope you're doing better. Shout all the Bulgarians, man. Every fan is being too harsh on Partey. Clearly, he's been playing with a knock before the Liverpool game. He was playing well until that injury, probably. Balogun to Palace, but no, let's hope let's live in Palace and Ketia, permanent business. Ian Wright, go and gas him, man. Tell him you can do your career in reverse. And exactly, Partey, Koke next to him most of the time. We have no one on the level of Koke to help Partey settle in. And this is the thing, footballers are like jigsaw puzzles. You need to put others next to pieces next to each other to solve the puzzle. You can't just sign someone because they're amazing and go out there and do it. Football don't work like that. Life don't work like that. It don't make sense. We're at 204 likes, people. 300 of you are locked in. So while I'm appreciative of whoever has hit that like button, and I hope to see you all my watch along for Arsenal Everton, unexpected high bills due if you have not hit that like button. Bad mind use. Speaking of trust the process, make sure you're following me on Twitch. 3 p.m. we go live again, folks. Football Manager business, where that's concerned. And obviously, you know, I'm gonna need all of you lot here. I'm enjoying being here with you lot, but I'm gonna need you lot all here at 7 p.m. if you can. If you can't, please hit the like button regardless. Let me catch you lot for Everton versus Arsenal, people. Again, one love to the 6 people who've hit that like button. Don't know who this brother is saying Arsenal won the league. You know, I don't know if you're serious or not, so you can't be serious. So you have to hold that one. But make sure you set the reminders for that, people. Obviously, you know, go and check out the video I did with Mo. If you know, it's on my channel. If you want to go and see more, we spoke about Everton, Arsenal. We spoke about Odegaard. We spoke about Partey. We spoke about Bamian. We spoke about Mikel Arteta. Spoke about the run of games. Spoke about other ones and twos there, man. All right, Mark, come on, man. All right, R.I.P. your dad, Mohammed. That's fucked up, man. By God's grace, you know. May God find, you know, first things first. Can you hope your father's soul is, and anyone else, he's at peace, he's at rest, and all of these things. Second of all, I hope you're given the strength to carry on. I don't say get over it, because as someone who's had to deal with death from a young age, you don't get over it. I won't even say time's a healer. I won't say it's acceptance, but acceptance is the only word I can come with it. It's like you find an acceptance that they're not coming back. It is what it is, sort of thing. I wouldn't say that, you know, it's you know, even for me, a lot of death isn't accepted, but you just live with it, innit? And I've almost become a bit numb to it. So anyone that's suffered any of that, man, come on, man, you know, wishing you lot good spirits. And why you lot, again, you lot think I always say the health thing on my start of things just for the sake of it. I genuinely wish you lot good health and that, because I don't like to see, well, we just see someone died at 38 years of age. You know, what's that, 12, 13 years older than me? Ridiculous, man. But I don't want to leave this on a sour note, man. You know, for Partey to shine, he needs a Basuma type player next to him. Koke wasn't that. Koke could do a bit of both, and I wouldn't say that. And I'm not against bringing in a Basuma if he gets rid of these allegations and having that. But I mean, we're going to be a very stinky side if we're going to have Lokonga, Partey, and Basuma. Nothing's getting created. Nothing. I hear you, though, man. Of our current midfield, last question. Of our current midfield, who would you prefer next to Partey to take us forward? I don't think any could take us forward, man. I feel El Nene, based on coming into that game 59 minutes prior, he can't really say he shouldn't get a start. I do like Lokonga and Partey. I think that's an option we should, not our first choice part pivot, but that's something we need to be able to do. Probably in terms of what can give us everything is probably Xhaka and Partey. For me, I would like to see us go down the Odegaard and Partey route again, but I don't really believe in it. I don't really believe wholeheartedly in a single partnership in this midfield, which for me means we need to go and sign one, innit? Been a hard-working ending to the stream. Rest up, DG, and we go again later. Come on, man. We go again, people. I can't lie. For a Monday morning, the engagements has been crazy. The views, the like buttons, the opinions, the talking points. Everything's been amazing, man. I appreciate you lot. No one from AFTV's hit me up, man. Respectfully, big up AFTV, but fuck them, man. We're doing our thing here, innit? We ain't got time to be trying to jump on other bandwagons. Them man can take the escalator. We do the stairs business, but on that note, it is what it is. I hear Lokonga created 6 chances, but how many, who remembers any of this? I've watched the game 3 times. What are they defining as 6 chances? The only real chance you could see of note is that ball for Saka, and and that's it. And he's not a creative man by mindset, people, man. So it doesn't really make sense what we're doing. But on a serious note, the engagement, talking points, everything has been amazing. Not just here, big up the Twitch gang as well. 10 a.m. was a lit stream. 10 a.m. tomorrow. 10 a.m. tomorrow on Twitch. 11:30 a.m. tomorrow on YouTube. Get in the routine of that. I don't know, because Ramsey wasn't the most balanced of players, really. And, I do think Ramsey across the whole of a 38-game calendar, and this is from one of a big Ramsey lover, extremely overrated and extremely overstated, really and truly, man. So, yeah, you lot stay blessed. It's been a fantastic stream. It's been 90 minutes, almost a football match. I'll be back again on YouTube live from 7 p.m. Obviously, kickoff is at 8. Hope to see you lot all join me for pre-game, during game, post-game and whatnot. And then obviously tomorrow and Wednesday, make sure you're checking your schedules on Twitch and you're checking the YouTube community tab and just staying in the loop, because we got Champions League business to be dealing with. I think Napoli-Leicester is 5:45 on Thursday. I'm finna do a watch along for that one as well. I can't even sit here and cap to you lot. So on that note, I'm going to let you lot get out of here. I'm going to love and leave every one of you, man. You lot stay blessed, stay safe. People, DG, I'm out. Stay blessed. Like I said, make sure you're here later. Peace.
So there's always just that active red line. Defenders, I think, it's like